So, favorite Muay Thai weapon?
Elbow.
Favorite fight of yours?
Oh, okay. Probably my last fight.
Okay.
Which was for the Triumphant world title.
Favorite fighter?
Damian Alamos.
Oh, has he been here?
Yeah. He's been here twice. So that was cool, man. It was kind of like a dream come true, and then that was good, though. It was good.
Okay, most underrated type of training?
I think weightlifting.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think weightlifting.
You got the guns, huh?
Yeah, trying to.
Okay, best Muay Thai promotion?
Right now, I would say Triumphant, because they've given me the most opportunities.
Yo, we like people that give us opportunities,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Especially when I went pro, it was like, or trying to go pro, everybody was kind of giving me really of a tough time, and they gave me a chance, like really quick, so it was cool.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
So, one thing most people don't know about you?
I'm not from Nevada, I'm from California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite Thai food?
I don't know what it's called, the name of it, but it's like a cold, spicy, like noodle salad. And it has like meat, or sometimes they'll put like shellfish in it. It has like chilies in it.
Some sort of like...
It's like lime, kind of like cold.
It sounds like yentele or something.
It's like glass noodle.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I don't know what it... Okay, so a little bit of advice for fighters.
Do the boring stuff. Tons of bag work, tons of shadow boxing. I know it gets old and you want to do the cool stuff, but it'll pay off in the long run.
And you have done lots of boring stuff to get here.
Yes.
What sort of boring stuff brought you here? We'll talk about the boring stuff, but it's exciting because you get to condense it into...
Yeah, for sure.
So the gym has been here for 5-6 years?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
3 expansions.
Yes.
Last year you had 122 fights?
Yes, as a team, yes.
So very, very active.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the gym itself. You opened right after COVID.
Yes, yeah, literally right after COVID. We opened right after COVID. We started in the garage, or I started in the garage, and then we kind of decided to go through with it, didn't like pull the trigger on the gym. We had about 20 people trying to spar in a little small garage, and that didn't work out too well. So we went for it and decided to open up the gym. And I think the way that we did it, because we started in a garage, we built a good, strong community first, and that was very, very, very helpful when we opened it.
And that's something we'll talk about in a little bit, the community and culture. But then let's talk about your own fight career, because you trained with Chaz Mulkey for a long time.
Yeah.
What was that like? Can you tell me a little bit about your fight career?
Training with Chaz was a reality check. That's what 100%. So I think because he had fought at that high level and WBC world champ, and obviously just phenomenal training partners and stuff that he came up with, it was like a harsh truth. I think, we kind of don't understand what it really takes to get there until either somebody shows you or you've been through it. And he just kind of gave us all the hard truth. Like, this is what it looks like if you even think you're going to compete at a high level. It takes A, B, and C. And if A, B, and C is too hard for you, then try fucking something else. But it helped just kind of put things into perspective. Like, okay, I can do this, or maybe I can't do this. So it helped me. I guess that Chaz helped me bridge that gap between like high level amateur and pro. So like, he was like, if you want to make this jump, this is what the shit looks like, and if you can't hang, then either stick with amateurs or just don't do it at all.
Yeah, and for those of you out in TV land that don't know Chaz that well, he was very active in probably 2005 to 2015, maybe even up to 17, mainly based out of here in Vegas, sparring partner with Kevin Ross, fought online fight, fought out here in Vegas a lot, fought a little bit in Thailand. You also have fought in Thailand a little bit.
Yeah.
We talked about your Bangla fight. That was, you fought in Bangla, and then also Panang, and you've done other stuff. Let's walk through your fight in Bangla first. Because it's like, you know, these stories, good and bad, are very important to hear.
Yeah, for sure. So that one, we were out there for a different tournament completely, and I was out there coaching. And while the tournament was at night, I was getting in as much training as I could during the day and my running and everything, and just expecting to fight, I guess. I wasn't like 100% sure, but just stayed ready. I started kind of like a little semi-camp here and then finished off strong there. And then I got offered to fight at Bangla. So the trainer that I work with out there, Louis, he was just getting me ready for something, and then something popped up, and so we took it, and it was a good experience. It was a really good experience. It was my first time.
Tell me a little bit about the matchup and what happened.
Okay.
Because this is like very typical Thailand.
Okay.
And I would say even more typical Bangla.
Yeah. Okay. So we showed up for an expected match, and then once we got there, my trainer was kind of arguing back and forth with the matchmakers. And so I asked him, I was like, what's happening? What's going on? And he was like, they lied to me. The guy that you were supposed to fight isn't here, and they're trying to match you up with somebody that's almost like not double your size, but like a good 30 pounds heavier than you. And so I looked at him and I told him, I was like, whatever you think, I'll do. If you think it's a good fight for me, I'll take it. If you think it's a bad fight for me, then I won't take it. And so he looked at me and he was like, I don't think we should take it. I think the guy's too big, and I think we'll wait for something else, or if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So we had already agreed on that. We were literally on the process of standing up and leaving, and then the guy walked in, and they kind of sized us up and measured us, and I don't know, I think once we were there, like face to face, just felt different to me. And I looked at Louis and he was like, what do you think? And I was like, I want to do it. Like, let's just do it. Because at the end of the day, it's still experience. Like, it's like, I mean, you don't want to take bad matchups, but in the situation that I am now, being a coach and having a gym, like, I don't get very many opportunities to fight. So why not, you know? And that's what I preach to the boys, and you gotta lead by example, you know? So preach to the boys, we're trying to get our rounds in. We kind of try to do what we got to do to get that experience. So I went, I took it, and ended up being a good fight ended up being a 40-second first round KO.
Oh,
yeah.
Hardly a fight.
Yeah.
You probably spend more time deliberating about, should I fight or not?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, that lines up with a lot of my experiences. Like my first fight in Thailand, I think I told you this, the original Russian opponent, this was in 2007.
Yeah, mine was a Russian opponent.
It didn't show up.
Yeah.
And so but some Thai kid just rocked up. And so the gym owner just pulled the Thai kid's shirt up and was like,
that worked.
there we go. Yeah. Then, so I fought him. But another time, I went out to Isan with Francis Warwatana, and was out there in some fucking cornfield somewhere, and my original opponent didn't show up, or they didn't have someone, and then this Thai guy comes up, and he's like, I will fight him, and Francis looks at him and is like, no way, Matt, you're gonna die, bro, you can't die. And I did not take that one. He had the look of a man that liked to kick down banana trees and drink rice whiskey.
Yeah.
As just a life. That's all he did.
Yeah.
But you also had the fight in Panang, which we talked a little bit about last night.
Yeah.
You had a very interesting experience in the corner. Tell me a little bit about that fight, and then let's talk about what happened in the corner.
That fight was probably up to date my hardest fight that I've had.
Oh, really?
To date, yeah. I ended up losing a fight, but I think it was the fight that I gained the most experience because one, it was my first time fighting a Thai. It was my first time going like five 3-minute rounds with the 2-minute rest, like the traditional.
It's long.
Yeah, it was so long. So
the breaks are long. The fight is long.
Yeah, I felt like I was in there forever.
Yeah.
And it was just my first experience kind of like with the betting, and I didn't understand a lot of it at that point. I was still like pretty young into the sport, and so I did what I think most Westerners do and just went in pretty crazy for the first 2 rounds. And then once he weathered the storm, he started just like slowly picking me apart. Like he was left-handed, so he started like trying to kick my back leg. So I started checking that back leg, and then after like round 3, I just couldn't check anymore because my shin was just completely battered. So once I stopped checking, I started kind of taking him in the forearm, and then he just kind of kept repeating that until he shut down my right hand. So within like the first 3 rounds, I think he shut down just my whole shin, my whole arm. So I just had like my left side to work with, and you could just tell that was like his game plan, just to like slowly break me down. And then he weathered my early storm, and we ended up going all the way like through to a decision. But it was just when I rewatched it, I was like, oh, this was his like plan. Like I could tell the experience in him, and just like didn't get too excited. I just took so much from that, and it helped me tremendously. I think it's still one of the fights that just helped me change my game completely on the way that I look at fighting now, you know.
One of the things we talked about last night, because I don't think it's just the fight and the strategy that's important to learn from, it's also things about what happens in the corner.
Yeah.
So, it sort of came up because we were talking about, sometimes you didn't, but sometimes fighters will shit themselves in the ring.
Yeah.
And then it's not uncommon for fighters to piss themselves. And I was talking about how when they piss themselves, it's not a big deal. I'd much rather piss myself than shit myself if I was fighting.
For sure. 100%.
Because with when you're fighting, especially in Thailand, it's like a fucking monsoon on you.
Yeah.
In between rounds. So what was that like?
I don't remember any advice being given to me. I had
that sounds about right.
A couple English speakers in there, but it was just a ton of yelling, and it was like torture. I almost wanted to go back in there and just keep getting kicked, because every time I went back to the corner, I was just being drowned with water. My hair's just being like ripped out of my head, and I got everybody screaming at me at the same time, like, just fucking let me go back in there, please. This is worse than the fight. So it's intense.
I mean, it's very normal, and it's a pretty big problem in Thailand. Where you have to sort of understand this is like what happens, and then you also have to sort of you have to think while you're in the corner, because 3 people are telling you 3 different things.
Yeah.
So you need to sort of pick which one is the best, or like triangulate the common threads, which is very hard. But what were they doing to your hair?
So they were like putting their hands through my hair and then like shaking it, and then trying to like get me to wake up a little bit more, I guess. I was awake.
Yeah.
I just was drowning.
That's very common. Like you pull the hair back like this, or you massage the head, especially if the person has taken shots to the head. So they'll like start massaging it to bring the blood flow back.
Okay.
So that I mean, and I've done that to fighters and had it done to me. It helps.
That makes sense, yeah.
But what about some of your fights here in America? You said about almost exactly a year ago you had the Triumphant world title.
Yes.
Tell me about that experience.
That was a really, really cool experience. Aside from it being like a world title fight, it was a cool experience for me because I had fought that in that exact like stadium in Mexico 3 years prior to that. So I fought there, and I lost a really like close fight. I just didn't like. I made just little mistakes that cost me a fight, which is normal, right? I didn't come out hurt or anything. It was just I think it was just the experience. I think I didn't take advantage of certain opportunities. So to be able to fast forward that and 3 years later go to that same exact stadium and then fight for a world title against somebody with triple the amount of fights than the guy that I fought before was a very cool experience. And we went all 5 rounds, just good. It was tons of elbows, tons of clinching, and good body kicks. It was just, I just had my rhythm. It was just definitely my night for sure. It was good timing.
Awesome. And I know you have plans to go back to the ring with eventual hopes and I think a doable goal of going on to RWS maybe within the year. Yes. But you are also very active with your team here.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about just teaching here at the gym and why you have the athletes so active?
So, I mean, like teaching here at the gym is just, I love teaching, I love coaching. I'm very passionate about it. I have very strong opinions about being a coach and just being the right role model, right? Like you can't just preach about things that you want your fighters to do. Like they have to see you do the thing. So, and not by like fighting in general, but just like, you just can't be a lazy coach. Like when you choose to be a coach for Muay Thai and for athletes that want to compete, like I feel like you have a big responsibility to not be lazy and give these boys, like pass down the knowledge to give them the tools to be a better fighter or be a better athlete in general, right? So there's not a lot of money involved in Muay Thai. So if you open the gym, to me, it's because you're passionate about it. So you have to give back in the ways of get up, give them the pad work, give them the clinch rounds, give them the sparring rounds, like, because they're not gonna get paid for this. So if you're just sitting on the sideline and just telling people what to do, like, it's just, I don't know, to me, it's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
I mean, I definitely agree with you about the passion part. I think a little different. I would say Muay Thai traditionally has not had a lot of money in it.
For sure.
But, you know, look at you guys. You opened the gym 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Now you are successful business owners. You've undergone 3 expansions. You know, so that's your gym and business. You're making more money.
Yeah.
Me, myself, I'm making more money.
Yes. Yeah.
Does that mean it's easy to get and easy to do?
No.
No. So like, well, I think traditionally this sport is seen as not making a lot of money. There is money, there is careers. You have to be smart.
Yes.
And the sport, I think, is at a little bit of a tipping point.
Yeah.
Where it's going to be a lot easier soon.
Yeah.
And there's going to be Muay Thai gyms popping up all over.
Everywhere.
But the difference is going to be like the product.
Yes.
And like
the foundation.
The foundation. Is this person passionate? Are they experienced at coaching? You know, one of the things we talked about last night was how important it is to be experienced as a coach. Can you tell me a little bit about your view? Because like, I was sort of thinking about it a little today, and my view is maybe a little different, but it's important out here in America for
sure. So that's how I think I feel about it a little bit. So I feel like here in America, because Muay Thai is a little bit more, like, not newer to us, but we're not as experienced as other countries, right? So I feel like as a coach, you should have some kind of, maybe not professional experience, but at least like some experience of stepping in the ring and at least getting a taste of that, right? Especially if you hold a role where people are looking up to you and you're telling people like, go run this, go do this, go do 500 kicks. Like everything that I have my boys and girls do is stuff that I've done before at least once. I would not feel comfortable sitting in the position that I'm in, making these boys and girls do stuff that I've never done before. So I do think it's different for other countries because they've had the sport around a little bit, and but we're a lot newer at it. So I think if we start skipping around certain experiences, like, we'll never match that level. Like, we have to be educated first in what we're doing so we can pass down the right knowledge to the ones that are going to make a difference in the future. So I think experience is very, very important. I think if you don't have it, then try to seek it and try to get it. It's never too late.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like the lead by example. I think that's so important for leaders of any area. Also at the same time, you see in sports out here in the States, a lot of the head, famous football coaches, basketball coaches, they're not that good or don't have much experience, but they're able to teach and do the sport.
Because they're obsessed with it.
Because they're obsessed with it. And so, there's an argument where it's like, if you have the knowledge and ability, does the experience matter?
Yeah.
I think the experience is important.
I think so too.
If it was a choice for me between like a guy that's fought before and a guy that hasn't, I'm gonna be like, okay, you've walked the walk. Maybe you were a total tomato can, but
who cares? You have
you have a little bit of experience. But if it's a choice between a tomato can, a guy who's never fought but produced world champions, I'm gonna be like, well,
for sure.
So it's
everybody's case is different, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, but I think if you can have the experience, like, choose to.
Yeah.
Why not?
I definitely agree. One of the really interesting things is you have a pretty big kids program.
Yes.
And you get to see all sorts of funny things happen with the kids. One of the stories you told last night was like this kid was fighting at like one of the tournaments or something.
That was a mat fight, like
it
a
was
technical
a mat
fight, yeah.
He pretended like his leg was hurt, and he dragged it, and so his opponent was like, "Oh, his leg is hurt," and then he
just stood there, and then he just let him drag his leg to the mat, and then just body kicked him.
So good.
Yeah.
But one of the other things, so good. One of the things you talked about was how much trust the kids put into you.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So like with the kids, like. Just people that are close to me, obviously, like I express, like when tournaments and stuff, like they just mess me up, man. I get so nervous. Like I try to do my best to keep a good poker face, but the kids just completely destroy me because they're purely going off of your word, like your word as a coach. Like most 8-year-old kids won't come up to you and tell you like, hey, I want to go out there and fight in front of 200 people. Like, it's terrifying. So they're really only doing it because you as their coach told them, I think you're ready to compete. So they're going off of your word. So it kind of goes back to a little bit of like being a lazy coach, right? Like you can see that kids are athletic and they have potential, and you tell them they're ready, but then you don't give them the work that they're supposed to have to compete, right? And you should know what they need. They need the running, they need the pad work, they need the bag work, they need the sparring rounds, the clinching. And if you can't provide that for them, it's going to be a rough experience for them. And it's our job as a coach to make sure that whether they win or lose, they're being fed the right knowledge, and that will allow them to have a good experience whether they win or lose. But for them to go out there and compete is it's rough. We have a good amount of kids who love to compete, and I have a tough time watching them compete, but I enjoy every part of it, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
I think, most people, most athletes, and most of the fighters I know get nervous before their fights. So like Ferrari, he nervous peas. Smilla nervous peas. I have definitely, one time, I've told this story a few times, I had to nervous poop. But I was in Isan, So I like was in a cornfield, so I had to like walk like to some other cornfield in the middle of nowhere and like poop behind, try and poop behind the tree because there were no bathrooms or anything. So I'm just like, but even Stamp, she like hyperventilates. She'll like cough a lot before fights. Sexan Orkwan Muang definitely gets nervous before his fights. So
sure.
it's like a very normal thing to happen.
Yeah.
What do you think are a couple of things that people don't really realize about fighting in this world that you think they should?
I think maybe how hard the sport really is and what it really takes to get to that higher level, right? Like, I don't feel like I'm like at the highest level ever, but like when you go to Thailand and you see like these fighters, like if you go to Phuket Fight Club and you'll see like Alicia be in camp and you see what they're putting them into, you're like, Jesus, like nobody's doing that. Like she's training 7 days a week, like 3 times a day. Like she's doing Muay Thai in the morning, strength training in the afternoon, and then Muay Thai at night again. Is just like, and that's something like it's the highest level, it's very, very difficult, I think, to understand that, like the journey that you're trying to go on, I think it's a lot of things that people don't understand what you're signing yourself up to,
There's Mr. Wong always says like the higher you go, the colder the air, or like the higher you go, the sharper the knives. It's definitely not easy. So I want to just talk about one or two more things. So tell me, I know Susie hits on this a lot, your wife and partner here at the gym, is the culture. Can you tell me a little bit about why that's important to you guys?
I think it kind of goes back a little bit to like what I was saying with the kids is the experience, right? Maybe in other countries, maybe in Thailand, like the experience isn't, because they have such a rooted like foundation. I feel like for us, there's still so many people who don't know what Muay Thai is. So I feel like as a gym owner, as a coach, it's your responsibility to give people, even off the street, if they never want to fight before, give them a good experience of what Muay Thai is. And like, even if they don't sign up, but if they just had a good experience, they're gonna go and tell some person, they'll have a random conversation about Muay Thai and they'll be like, yeah, I tried it once, really cool sport. And it's the culture that your team, right? Like, I make all my fighters, like, they train in regular classes. If I have new people, they work with new people. I expect them to work with new people because of the work that I give my fighters. Like, I give them everything I have. So I expect them, when they see somebody struggling, to step off and be like, my coach will give me some work, or whatever the case is. Like, just give back to the community. I think it's so important. I think it all stems from the top, right? If you carry yourself like an asshole, then that's what's gonna follow, and some sessions have to be harder than other, and you got to be tough on because fighting's not easy. But I think it's okay. Like, you can be a nice guy and give people a good experience and still have a really good, strong team, and have a good culture where it's comfortable that anybody can walk into your gym and have a good time, or walk into your gym and become a great fighter as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. And speaking of that, what are some of the things you have lined up? I know you have, this won't be published, this will be after, but you're having Jonathan Haggerty out tomorrow for a seminar. So you do a lot of that stuff, but you have a couple of fights coming up. Jonathan Hernandez at Freedom Fight October 18th. What other sort of stuff do you have lined up?
So just on October 18th, we have 4 people fighting. Jonathan Hernandez being one of them. His twin brother, Brian Hernandez, is also fighting on the same card, and that'll be in Chicago. And then we'll be splitting up the team, and then I have Obi Loftus fighting for the Legends title in Oakland, and one of my girls, Eli, also fighting for the Legends title in Oakland as well. So we have those coming up, and I think we had a good amount of fights booked, and they kind of fell through or we got rescheduled. So I think as of right now, that's for October, and then September 27th, which is like 2 weeks from now, we head out to Long Beach for Isaac and Ty. They're fighting for WCK out in Long Beach. So we'll get those two boys going, and then October follows shortly after, and then we'll kind of fall into USMTO for November after that, which I think we have scheduled about maybe 24 people competing in that tournament. So, yeah.
Damn. Well, you definitely have a lot of work cut out for you,
Yeah.
so I don't want to keep you that much longer. I feel like you're going to have to start working with these kids.
Yeah.
But for people interested in following along with you and or hitting up the gym, how can they do so?
We can do it on Instagram or Pinto Muay Thai. You can follow me at Danny Muay Thai, or Danny Pinto, sorry. And we are in Las Vegas, Henderson, Nevada to be exact. And we're always welcoming, man. If anybody comes from a different gym, we never charge them anything. Like it's always about a good experience and just sharing that knowledge, you know. So,
all right. Well, thank you so much.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man.